Hey guys, what's going on today? Hey, got my Spider-Man shirt on because, hey man, we got Spider-Man here with us. Hey Spidey, what's going on? I think he had a suction cup right here. Just some threads there. So I don't know. This one's kind of different, older, has a plastic head to it. I've got another one over there I've shown before where he's kind of crouching and he has just a stuffed head like this, but this has a plastic and it has a pull tie here. Just a real cheap object bought back in the day. Don't know, made in Korea. Don't know about what year, but yeah, it's an older Spidey that I dug up over mom. So, and also had this. This is probably not that old. Let's see, 2004 little Spider-Man lunchbox. I'm getting right to it. So, blitzkrieging it today. Nice webbing design on the side. Um, that's got a few things to go through. And then, I'm going to get back to writing and get back to doing what I do, which is get the campaign up and running and stuff. Ambulance is very, very popular. Sell a bunch of them. Sold a bunch of this one. Bought just about every one I could lay my hands on at the time. Matchbox. This is a '08 Ford E350 ambulance, and 2006 on the card. Might be for 2007. They put the copyright sometimes a year ahead. This might be from the 2007 line. It's got a 2006 copyright on it. Bought a bunch of these. I think this is Yatmine. Came with won't take it out of the bag either. Kind of hard to get at, but kind of John Deere green like hauling wagon, which you could put behind. Now it does have a small little hole there, so it doesn't fit just everything. A lot of those toes on the back are pretty thick, pretty big. Um, I would call these kind of Yatmine cars here. They were like back in the day in the dollar stores. They were like two for 50 cents. This is a convertible, probably some type of more, early 2000s Mustang. I'm guessing there, but if I remember right, um, you the sticker on these 2005. So, I would pick up all these that I could find because they didn't get a whole lot of them and they were, different to sell online and different than Hot Wheels and other things. If it dealt with diecast, the way I did that, I decided to, my Elsie said maybe I'll put some diecast up for sale, and I said I was kind of lukewarm on it, and I had bought a few at Walgreens, the Speed Wheels type stuff, and it didn't take me long to make some sales. I made put like about 10 of them up, and about 3 or 4 of them sold fairly quickly. Might have put them up for auction. I can't remember. Maybe a buy now, and then on our store and so I went and got some more. I put on about 20, maybe 10 more, and then they sold. So then I was in the diecast, selling them. This is one of the Volkswagen Bugs, very nicely designed that came out. That Bugs sell pretty good to people. This one had a, if you see, yeah, see that exhaust, big exhaust in the back, almost as big as a tow hook. This is a Masto, um, and I believe this is a Hot Wheels. Yeah, Hot Wheels little dune buggy. Everyone in the '60s wanted one of these things to go to California and on the beaches with and everything. Thing about these, you have to be careful with when shipping because you have the windshield there that can get broke off real easy. So you need to wrap and bubble wrap really good, and you won't have a problem most of the time. And then here's kind of like a rat car, a hot, a it's got stamped on here 2000, so it's a Hot Wheels, and may have come from a 10 pack. I've got a lot of loose stuff, and I would take you know, things off the card too, and sell them. Some would sell, some wouldn't. It says South Carolina Moonlight Delivery since 1789, maybe. Palmetto powered, it says on a little sticker. It's got a little 8 there. It's amazing. Some of these graphics are so small, you can't hardly see them, but they print them on there nonetheless. Little open, not really a rumble seat, but kind of looks like a rumble seat. It's got a little back end with no tailgate with a little fuel thing there in chrome. I got this over at my mother's. I went over to her. She was upset about something today. A couple bills that should have been stopped and weren't. Maybe, I'm not even sure after our conversation, but she had some wedding pictures for me, which I won't show, and this little Santa bug I'd given my father that comes in a little wooden box. Just one of those little things that I picked up at a convenience store that I thought was pretty neat. And I'd give him stuffed animals and stuff like that too, that talked or performed or did something, you know. Uh, and this bug's legs kind of moved and whatnot, and I gave that to him years ago. Um, and I went through a cedar chest. Most of this that I'm getting ready to show you or have been showing you came out of a cedar chest from over there. And this, I guess you take this guy's head off. Actually, it should have a pin there, I would think. Actually, you pull a little thing there and he will make noise, but he poops out candy. You know, a lot of these dispensers do, but he's like a pumpkin guy from, I guess, Kids that comes out right there. And his head back, uh, and it has a speaker here, speakers. So that's why I say it. He probably talks to you. Try me. Yeah, I pulled the thing. I probably did at the time. But yeah, a little pumpkin candy dispenser. Halloween's real popular. So this is pretty cool. What I picked up probably at a dollar store. Diving Submarine, amazing baking soda powder engine. Fill it with baking powder and watch it dive and emerge. It's amazing. Uh, Kids Labs, fun science products came out with this. Yeah, diving submarine. I would have loved one of these as a kid. And it has, you remove the top and put the baking soda in, and it'll go up and down. I had something similar, and I've shown it. Um, and mine was, but something sleek like that that really looked real submarine. Would have loved that. For, about a dollar toy. That's great. I love that. That's awesome. Um, well worth the dollar, in my opinion. Found some Raggedy Andy books that I had as a kid. Raggedy Andy, I even had a Raggedy Andy doll when I was younger, real young. I'm talking real young. Um, you know, 2, 3, very, very young. Um, and it's amazing that I still have these. Oh, wow. Sold by the Lighthouse Bookstore. That tells me something there because I worked at the Lighthouse Bookstore. Uh, and when I first started, I said, I got a job at the Lighthouse Bookstore. And mom said, oh, really? I and your aunt used to work there back in the 60s. And she went in the other room, produced a picture of them behind the Bible counter, a black and white photo. So she probably got these she got it at Lighthouse Bookstore. Never knew that. Copyright 1918 on this stuff. Copyright 46 and 47. In Great Britain. Um, so is it from 47? I wouldn't thought this book had been that old. 47, be a newer edition. It has got some moisture damage to it, but I was surprised to find this and that, it was still around in any kind of form. And the other one here is a little bit better condition. These pages are kind of folded, stuck together, pressed together. Don't want to rip anything, but I do want to see if there's any. Some of the illustrations are in color and some are in black and white. And these might have been hand-me-down books. I don't know, but I just remember my mother I probably should have took today wasn't the right day. She was upset about those bills, and I'm running a little bit behind, about 5 minutes with the show, so I didn't drop any links. You can go to, well, I guess you can't go to. Let's see what I've got stuck in my arsenal there. Okay, there's the Indiegogo project. I can at least drop that. Twitter's no problem. I think it's funny. I was going to the homepage. Oh, I hit 100 and I'm at 101 followers now, which is great. I hit the 700 mark over there at Twitter. Let's see. Grab that link. So, if you want to follow civility, there's my Twitter link. Just hit over 700. $10 wasn't much for a comic. Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering on this copyright if this is 1947. If it is, the Lighthouse bookstore that I and my mother worked for, her in the 60s and me in the 90s, this could have been a sort of hand-me-down, but yeah, the cover's kind of gone. I mean, part of the spine's there, you can see. But now this one does have the hardback on it. Raggedy Andy and Andy. Them pictured on the back. I have some fond memories of those. See what the copyright is on this. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that they'd been back in the 40s, but I'll have to ask Mom about that. But now this one says sold by the Lighthouse Bookstore, Jonesboro, Arkansas. So they were in business. I worked to them till almost the very end, and that was over 60 years they were in business. This has the same copyright, 1948, but I would have thought that this would have been more. I know it's 1960s at least, because I had these back in the 60s, early 70s. There's Santa Claus, just different stories that Mom would read to me. And that, was probably one of the earliest books that I read. She had taped this page. I was pretty rough on stuff, like most kids. But, I was glad to find these. And I had a Raggedy Andy doll for a long, long time. Uncanny X-Men. I think this is Art Adams artwork. Never been opened. Bag may be a little soiled, but I think it might need, but anyway, the 1987 t-shirt, still in the bag, from 1987 X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Art Adams shirt. So I wonder what that would go on the market nowadays for somebody that likes to wear the apparel. This is, I think, extra large. It may be a large. I mean, I was thinner back then. And graphics, I know this is an XL. Let's see if we got a date on that. Not on the tag, but maybe on the shirt. I would say 1987 because I looked this up for Vic last night on his show. We were wondering when Longbow came out, and here's the copyright, and it was 87. And yeah, the copyright on here is 87. So Green Arrow and Longbow Grail story, the Longbow Hunters. I think I'm reading that right. Yeah. So 1987 on this one. And I found some heavy books. Marvel Universe by Peter Sanderson. Ramirez did the cover here. Wrap around. I'd say by the look of this, I'd say 80s, but 90s. But we'll see. Oh yeah, it's boy, you hear that? Hear me open that? Let's try that. Wow, it's freshness. It's the board here, and by that tag there, I can tell I got it back in the day at Hastings. But yeah, and books, of course, are worth a lot more with their cover on there. This seems to be in pretty good shape. But yeah, look at this, Steranko and Kirby and all kinds of artists in there. Just a hodgepodge of different Marvel characters done by John Byrne and just different artists through the decades. Well, just listen to that freshness. Ron Lim did the Silver Surfer there, and then it has a double page. I was going to say all red. I know this page is all red, but you go over here and that Hulk looks like Sal Buscema. So maybe Sal Buscema on this side and all red on that side. That's pretty wild. Came out by Harry N. Abrams Incorporated Publishers. It's really got some nice dramatic shots. Let's see. Black on blue is hard to see, folks. 1981, 1991. Told you I thought it was the 90s. Just by the artwork there. But I mean, yeah, it's got, a Hulk of different colors, and it talks about being gray at first and stuff. Just an awesome book. I'm going to do a deep dive on some of these books that I found. This is another one I got. I'd say probably around the same thing, same time. 5 Fabulous Decades of the World's Greatest Comics by Les Daniels. Introduction, and it has the same character shot in it. Different book though, but they use the same montage when you open it up. This one came out in 91 as well, so same year. So they used that same stuff. Got some awesome, covers and stuff. Just great book for a deep dive sometime. And I picked this one up. I was really glad to see this. This Hanna-Barbera Cartoons. It had an acetate type cover. Of course, had Hanna and Barbera pictured along with all the great, Mytor and Captain Caveman, the Jetsons, the Banana Splits, Magilla Gorilla, Hong Kong Phooey, just all them pictured, on there. Johnny Quest, Jabberjaws from the, the Herculoids. There's Muttley and Johnny Quest with his hand on his shoulder as he laughs. A nice little acetate cover there, little almost like an animated cell. This was Michael Mallory that published this, wrote this. Came out in 98. Wow, have I had it that long? And they came out around that time with some great Hanna-Barbera books. And since it has a little mark there, I've got to think that it was probably on markdown. But, and they were expensive books, Not sure what the retail price was on these. Maybe it will tell. You can look sometimes on the inside back cover, but I don't. And it may have a cover jacket, and I may have it separate. Often I take the cover jacket off books. Don't ask me why. Printed in Hong Kong. But yeah, man, I mean, it's got everything. Frankenstein Jr., The Impossibles, Atom-Man, Birdman, Galaxy Trio, all those great. Up into the 70s where you had the Funky Phantom and Speed Buggy and Hong Kong Phooey, like I said, Josie and the Pussycat. I mean, the Hair Bunch, Dino Mutt, Jabberjaws, the Smurfs, Richie Rich, I mean, Super Globetrotters, the Snorks, SWAT Cats, the Addams Family. I mean, Captain Planet, all those, let's see, covers 1940 through 1958, the MGM years, and talking about the founders before that, their studio, and then 1950 to the 1980s, 93 on, which this came out in 98. So I guess it comes up to current time, 98. Be very, very interested in stuff. I also found these Ultimate Battle trading card game that Upper Deck came out with. You get 5 game cards per pack. Wolverine on the pack, and then the cards. And I think I showed you the other day a Magneto, but here's another die-cast Magneto I had. But now this is missing the name tag that says Magneto, I noticed. So that's an error. And I found another Dr. Octopus. See the name tag? The Magneto didn't have one. So that's an error. And I found these G.I. Joe versus Cobra. I think those came with the little mini PVC figures that I've shown in the past. Let's open it up and see. Yeah, that's what it was. I've shown some of these in the past. Some of them I never got. I just kind of got these down on clearance, on markdown. I sold out of some of the figures at the time, but I had extras of some. Still have a few of these that I didn't send with. Here's some of those cards and what they look like from Marvel Ultimate Battles. Here's Nightcrawler with his power stats and everything. Some of these have some really nice artwork on them. I like that interpretation of Johnny Quest. Yeah. Love Johnny Quest. Johnny Quest is probably the best cartoon of all time. I mean, active, but I mean, as far as the art that went into it, the storytelling, the action, showing people were actually shot, real world danger, just, I mean, there was a lot. Go back and just look at any episode, and it is awesomely done. And all done by hand. That's what's remarkable. 24 pictures to make 1 second for you to watch on the screen. So thousands, go in to any of that hand-drawn stuff. I mean, to be hand-drawn and the level of quality that they got, I don't think it'll ever be matched again unless somebody just has a passion, You've seen the Venture Brothers. I've got 1 season of the Venture Brothers. Yeah. And it's good to have you in here, Tree Goblin. Colossus. This is when he had a red bandana around there. I don't know if you can kind of make out what's going on there or not. But let's see what year these were from. 2008. So these came out in 2008. This is the Punisher one. A nice Punisher in the shadows there. I think he shows up really well. Human Torch. This looks like some Greg Land artwork, maybe from the Ultimate books. That was on a cover, maybe. Repurpose and reuse that for cards. I like how the Venture Brothers interpreted Johnny Quest and how he grow up. Yeah, I would like to see the rest of the Venture Brothers. I only had the 1 season. For some reason, it wasn't available around here. This is Eric Larson. Nobody does fist and feet and body like he does. Look at Spidey there by Eric Larson. Knuckles of Fury. Savage Dragon style. Magneto. Kind of dark. Yeah, this from Ultimate. This would have been one of Mark Bagley's covers from Ultimate Spider-Man, fighting Dr. Octavius, Doc Ock. The show got better as it went on. I think they ended up before it got too tired. How many seasons did that run, Civility? Here's Quicksilver. Flash eye. No, not Flash. Not that Flash anyway. Um, Mr. Fantastic, stretchable, pliable. Another with Franklin Richards, probably the most powerful mutant, I guess. Would you call him a mutant or a mutation? One of the most powerful beings. Oh, 3 seasons? Is that all? Maybe I got the third and final season. I can't remember if it's second or I would have thought more than that. Here's Reed Richards and Dr. Octopus. Or 7 with an asterisk. Surely it ran more than 7. The one that I got, the season that I got, seemed like it had maybe a jet or something. Of course, Johnny Quest had a jet and a pterodactyl on it. I don't know. So what was the premise behind? Was it supposed to be interpreted Johnny Quest and how he'd grow up? No, I got mixed up. I guess I only saw up you till 5 or up to 5. Up to 5. 5 is usually what it is. This is some artwork from Greg Land from Mr. Fantastic out of the Ultimate books. I don't know if that's focused or not, but Hulk fighting the leader. His head looks like a grape seed, not just but the 2 lobes. Ridiculous. I just don't like the leader. He's back here. He's just grabbed by the Hulk. Some of these cards are so dark. How messed up of an adult he could be given the trauma of his childhood. Yeah, well, they kind of spoofed it, kind of like Adult Swim. I don't know that he had trauma. I mean, to me, Johnny Quest, he dealt everything in stride. And that's what I bought the Johnny Quest, the whole thing on DVD. And then I see something advertised or something where they censored that and that the Blu-ray was out that was uncensored. Well, it's still got to be licensed by the same people and released. I don't know why they did that. But, I mean, and all it was like some smack talk and stuff, like the guy's falling to his death, and he's like, I don't know what he said because I haven't watched it yet. I was excited to get it. I'm just glad I've got it. Here's Reed with Doom above him. Always having a pity party while Doom conquers the earth. The X-Men with the Beast. Irma Frost and Cyclops. Some of those are really, not so much this one, but dark, saturated color. This is Ultimate Battles. Venom. Of course, he's supposed to be black and blue. And what's black and blue and teeth all over? Yeah, some of these were taken from covers. Already existing artwork. Jargonaut. Yeah, powerhouse. All right, here's a great one. Wolverine versus the Hulk. Let me pick your teeth with that. The artist, he did a lot of Superman. He did some Hulk too. You probably know who it is. I can't. Some of these newer artists. He's been out. Yeah, that one's from Ultimate Fantastic Four. Here's a nice Doom. Looks like a gigantic Doom, but like that other card, like he's just like in a stance shot from below, Shot drawn upward. Here's something different coming up. Here's Storm. I like that better. Her hair being blown in the wind. Carol Danvers or Miss Marvel. Hulk. And I would say this is Hot Wheels Trick Track things. Yeah, a couple of them. $2 off. Sort of like off their play set from coupon from 2008. Had one of their play sets. Little coupon came probably with 5-pack or 10-pack or something like that. Another Hulk here. And what else we got? Kingpin. There in the background, Daredevil. Kind of hard to see what position Daredevil's in, really. Dr. Doom, yes, point that finger at you. Doom wants you to die. $2 off. Bunch. Oh, well, these are like, want to upgrade your game? Yeah, these are all the same. Apparently, I got these at Target or maybe not, but it's got the little Target thing there. $2 off. They're all the same with Iron Man. You keep the coupons, It's Iron Man. People throw these away. Hey, sell the extras if you can for something. Professor X. Kind of dark, darkly colored. Storm. Sort of classic Storm there. Angel. In his blue and white suit. Rogue. See, we got a couple more coupons. Yep. And Sabretooth. Daredevil. This Gene Colan artwork. You can tell, boy, by the fingers. Spider-Man, big old eyes. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I'll hold it up there till I can remember, and it's right there. Ghost Rider. It's like, hey, good stuff. Cyclops. Just showing some Ultimate Battle cards and some other stuff. Hawkeye. Saw on Twitter where this comic was posted today. Someone said, great cover. Mr. Fantastic there. Love this original costume of Spider-Woman. Like the cartoon in Green Goblin in the early 80s. That was a trip. I've got old cookie jar over at Mom's. Sadly, it doesn't have the lid to it anymore, but I thought that was worth saving. I don't know what year it is. I'm sure it's not extremely valuable, but remind me of my mother. Charlton Heston, the Bible. Got that. Has some great master art pieces in it. Artwork from Michelangelo's Expulsion on the Sistine Chapel to, Rembrandt, Rubens, bunch of good stuff. David, or not Dave, or I looked over and just saw Genuine Comics, said, Dave. Yeah, hi, Dave. Also had, Vincent van Gogh. Yeah, wonderful. Complete portrait. So, and just nice little raised, embossed. Got the brushwork in there. And I've read this book. His early has all his portraitures in there, self-portraits toward the end of his life. Cracking spine. Well, I worked at a Christian bookstore for 6 years. They'd have like D&D, like this Redemption game. Never played it. Never got it out of the box. Let's see what year it is. It's got dice and a board game. 1 to 4 players. Time a game lasts about 45 minutes. This is from 1996. The City of Bondage board game. Biblical heroes battle evil hordes to rescue lost souls. So there you go. Nice little board game. Still in the box. Whoops. But had that D&D feel to it. I'll pick that up in 96. And then here's another one. Don't think this one was in 98. The Omega Expedition. Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail, the Spear of Destiny. What happened to these and other holy artifacts whose origins spring from the Bible? And then I guess you find those, and they have like cards. Green key, shield, horns of iron, poison gas, Ark of the Covenant, Sword of Gideon, stone water pots. I don't know, but some early computer generated look there for the cover. I would order stuff for the store and hey, Sketchbook, and would order some of the games and stuff. Did a lot of the ordering. A lot of the ordering of Bibles and other stuff. And I would get maybe just one of those in for me, would order stuff just to get it in for me, And then if it sold well, maybe I'd get another one for the store. These were a couple older books that I found from 1951. Prince Henry. This is Real People. And I guess wrap around. Just dealing with Prince Henry. Black and white illustrations inside. I don't quite remember these. But 1951, Prince Henry the Navigator, dealing with real people. Leonardo da Vinci painting the Mona Lisa. And part of Real People series. Have her modeling there and him painting her. Arguably the most famous painting in the world. I can't tell you why. Hey, Lorenzo. Good to see you. I think earlier we had our lizard reaffirmation or what do you call it? Representation. Here's some of his inventions. Helicopter and a flight and a wagon, whatnot. Bombs, I guess. Aerial bombs, helicopter, multiple barrel machine gun, parachute, flying machine, cart propelled by springs, and network bridge. Way ahead of its time. And Fantastic Four puzzle. 2 for $3, so $1.50. See if I can find a date on this from Milton Bradley. It's a 19.5 a 15-inch puzzle. I did like the holofoil type, holographic type wrapping. 1996, 100 pages. The artwork looks like a kind of a takeoff. I wouldn't call it his work, but kind of looks like Rob Lim artwork to me. Nice puzzle. These puzzles fairly cheap, so I'd pick them up. Pick them up and put them up on the shelf. More garbage for the fire. Let's see. Yeah, if you got any links, drop your links. If you like gaming, comics, music, movies, TV shows, etc., check out the Ian's Variety Show tonight at 7 p.m. Rex's time. Central. Yeah. Okay, 7 p.m. I'll try and be there. I thought it said 8:10. Good stuff. Saying. I don't know if he's joking or what. This is an old drawing, painting from familiar scenes. Old from Walter T. Foster. Price US $2. Oh, by Jack Laycox. Published by Walter T. Foster. My bad. But they've got it marked down to $1.75 here. As if $2 was too much for this. Maybe it was back in the day. Let's see what year this is from. Early. 60s at least, I would think. Could be 70s. It shows perspective. Sure, different painting techniques. Gives you a list of the Walter Foster, how to draw art books in here. It's quite extensive. They have 175. Are these numbered? This is 132. So I guess they're numbered. But finding a year, the darn copyright. That's something different. Harbor skyline, sort of old style of painting, really. But shows you how to do and this is only one type person's way of painting, of course. Just kind of put in the shapes, no basic, with probably a palette knife. Let's see. Don't tell me this thing does not have. I may have to look it up and get back with you on that. But no copyright. Who does that? But it's old. It's old. Just trust me on that. At least back to the 70s. I would say maybe 60s. Could be back to the 50s. Could be the 40s. I mean, with the style, I'd say 50s and on up. Probably safe bet. It's probably not that old. Now, I bought these School of Art painting, step by step to get understanding and painting 2 masterpieces. So they kind of break down for you 2 masterpieces, and this dealt with one of my favorite artists of the 20th century. And this came out, let's see when this came out. 1994. So 94. I would have been out of college by then, but you get these two paintings broken down from you. A man and a woman. Woman's here on the cover from Modigliani. He died at age 36 of tuberculosis. Dealt with an oil painting. Here's some of the other art series. I may have this Van Gogh one. And I think, I had this one here. I'm getting ready to show you. It also has a Modigliani painting on it. He had some supporters, and their last name were Lipschitz, and they were sculptors. And he sculpted with Brancusi, the father of modern sculptor, up till 1916. I'm talking Modigliani again now. But this is a book that kind of breaks it down for you. Shows you the different colors and stuff that you'll need to do. I guess in oil paint, and like I say, too, it has black and white and color illustrations to show you the different contrast of that. And then here is the other one from the same series, Modigliani. He was known for long necks, and so are these eyes here. There was a movie done called Modigliani. Andy Garcia played Modigliani in that. And they had Picasso. This is really nice. I have one of his nudes. He's known for like nude women and portraits. Really like his stuff. I mean, here's a close up of that eye, kind of all X'd out. I mean, it was modern, early 20th century. Along with Picasso and maybe Henri Matisse in the early 20th century, the first couple decades or so, Modigliani was considered, probably one of the greatest of the big three greatest artists in the 20th century. I'd agree with that. I really like his stuff. Read about the movement he was kind of in and everything. It's kind of weird what some of them did. Here's one of school painting art out of the same 1994 step-by-step guide to two of his, and you have his bedroom scene. And I saw one of these bedroom scenes like this when it was like maybe 3 years from being 100 years old, and he used heavy paint, and there wasn't one little fracture, one little crack in it. I've studied him. He really knew how to paint, and his last ones will probably endure because he used better paints. The early stuff when he couldn't get, good paints. Of course, Theo would give him paint. I don't know how meticulous he was on mixing bad paint with good paint, but the guy his underpainting skills were par excellence. See what I did there? Just a little French there. Is it? You tell me. Well, anyway, did Shadowhawk get in here? You sure did, didn't you? Well, bless you, brother. This is going to be an ultra short one today because I have to go over and move Mom's car into the house, which is sold, but we're not totally vacated yet. I went over and got this stuff out of the cedar chest today that was in the back. Yeah, we'll do a deep dive on like this book and others that I got out of there. Pretty substantial. Great illustrations. Oh, my dog's barking at. There's Yogi Bear. They've been doing? A roof over here. Boom, boom, boom. I don't hear it now, but I don't know what one kid's been raking over there. I don't know if kids are playing or what, but don't have anybody have quiet neighbors on both sides and nobody back here. It's just across the street that makes noise. Of course, they've been laying in new fiber optic cable too, down around my mother's old house and down through my street now. Although I don't see them working today, and they're working both sides of the streets. They got it tore up. We've got a medium here that has trees down it. So, yeah, this is going to be one of my short one, guys. I apologize. I just wanted to bring a few things like that. I'm going to do some more cleaning and getting rid of this stuff that's in the way. I couldn't hardly sit down in here. I did find my other Buck Rogers huge book like this right here, and it's cluttered. But I found the better copy because I bought like two. I often do that on eBay. We'll bid multiple times and win twice. I don't mind having different, two of certain things. Checked the mail today. Didn't get any absolute stuff, but I should be getting some more absolute stuff in, and hopefully Rec Planet will get here sometime. And then the Alterna bundles, like I said yesterday, they came out with a little short 2-minute video. They got advanced copies, and while he was flipping through and got to Wolf and Batsy, you could see Sea Demon on the inside back cover. I put 7 ads and 5 different Alterna books in the winter campaign. Those should be out pretty soon. So, that's a win-win for me. About the time I launch my campaign or the other one, the Black and White's winding down, like 3 days left on it. and then it'll go in demand, at least a couple weeks past the alternative books coming out. And then I'll probably take it down. But I want my other one up, at least the mail up before I take that one down. Who knows? It takes you a couple of weeks to get your money. Of course, that will all go to pay artist or colorist or whatever on the main thing. Here pretty soon, got to check my email, see when I start back to work. Don't know if I'll get any word of it now. Frankly, the weather has not been cooperating to me moving anything. Um, it's bright and sunshiny today. It was bright and sunshiny today, about 4 days ago. But in between that, we got a storm, windy rain, and heavy winds for like 3 days. It's just, it rains, the heavy winds come in, dry it out, and then it rains again. I don't know. It's been very unhospitable. This has been a very hostile April. On top of it, the stresses of, mom getting everything changed in her life and everything moved, you know. But everything's good. I've told her, you know, do it in God's time and not, I mean, she mentioned the car. The car didn't go to somebody who expressed some interest in it. I said, well, what's the rush? Can we get out of the house and get the house sold? I could drive it and park it over here. Won't hurt a thing. And everything doesn't have to be done like this. Uh, I'm one of these laid back characters, I mean, I'm a procrastinator, but I've got to say, I'm pretty proud of myself when it comes to my campaign and everything. And I apologize for it not looking any better than it is and things not going as smoothly as it is with father passing away and trying to move my mother and all this. But I mean, everything's been like, okay, let's get the mail up, let's get the campaign up, and then just everything has to fall in line. I've been pretty proud that I've been getting these things done. I've got the colorist. He's got like a start on 6 or 7 pages, colored, and multiple trading cards. Had Vic King commissioned him. He's done a bunch of things for me. Doc Blaylock's getting ready to do a character for me in the campaign. And getting the colorist to do something else here pretty soon. So, I'm very proud of, what I've been able to knock down. I know I've got this arbitrary and I'm treating it as real. I want to get these books out uh, in October. I want to get it up, quick campaign. Might leave it in demand, may not. May need to take it down and have that money to publish with. I don't know. Depends on the campaign and how it goes. But I'll just be glad to get back to work. And I guarantee you every penny, every dime, if it doesn't go to like living and breathing, it'll go towards this campaign to get this. And I don't care if I'm out of money to finance it myself, pocket wise, from what I'm going to earn this, if it takes that over $3,000 just to have the thing colored, and that's just like the main story, and that's on the cheap, and I'm not even going to use this guy. It may cost me double that. I don't know. It's an expensive venture. It depends on who you get. I just don't think he was a good fit, and I don't think that I'm not going to be able to make October if I use this colorist. I'm going to have to let him go, or at least have him do trading cards. Trading cards, he seems like a single, posed figure or something. He seems to do okay with that. But when it comes to the sequential pages, I've wrangled with it. He's got his ideals about what the lighting should be, and it's like, way too dark, just different. It's just not homogenizing, coming together. So I think I've got a good start to show people, to show another colorist and say, okay, this is kind of what I want, but I want it better. So, anyway, I probably procrastinate too much. Yeah, I've got a t-shirt in there that says something about procrastination. Um, how much time there is, though. Who knows how much time there is? That's very true. I've been thinking about those things. You kind of get introspective a little bit. I really haven't even taken time, really, to think about my uncle and everything. I know that sounds callous, but I mean, I've got another uncle that's not doing too well, and my mother, she, you know, before that uncle left, he said your mother seems to be going downhill real quick. So, I'm putting it in the Lord's hands. But and great that my uncle's doing better. My mother seems to be happy where she is across the street from me, moving closer. That's kind of, you know, even more comforting in a way. But if she gets totally disabled, she'll have to move from there and go to a nursing home, so because they don't have the facilities for just somebody that's totally bedridden or just needs round the house, care in that way is pretty much immobile. So there's another movie, maybe if she doesn't pass away in her sleep or something over there, who knows? I mean, I don't know. She's 86. We don't know how much time we've got, that's for sure. Um, and I'm just trying to use my time as best I can and get on the streams and things like that, get out there, get known by people, and, have a little bit of fun along the way. But I'm kind of taking, some time and been doing a little bit of writing, thinking about storylines, about how I, may connect this story with that story or whatever things that I think are priority. I've been trying to do things in priority. Do I need this done now or can I wait till later? You know, the only reason I put the colorist on the trading cards is that plus it was a little bit cheaper than him doing a page. And it wasn't primarily that. It was to get him off the book and have him do the trading cards, you know, because I just don't I think I'm going to wrestle with him over every page, and it's going to take forever to get that thing colored. And that's just the 29-page story. And, I don't know. I haven't decided if some of it's going to be in black and white, gray tone, some of the backup features, or if I'm going to go all 48 pages in color. We'll see. We'll see what colorist I can do. I'd like to have a variety of different colorists. I like, if you can get a virtual, of course, one option is to do it by hand, you know, might do that, uh, on the coloring. Uh, One of my ads was done by hand, the Sea Demon ad, and it'll look like this with different wording. I needed some colored artwork, and that was available, done in not by John, who did the did wonderful logo there. I love that teal green, teal blue, whatever. Um, but yeah, you'll see that on the inside back cover of Wolf and Batsy and a few other of the books here pretty soon. I just thought that was a win-win. People will be getting their books from the campaign. You can order the books off Alterna, plus some will go into where the comic shops that carry Alterna books will be. So it'll actually go into comic shops. So, for the money, it was a great little thing. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that some more. But we're going to have to get some money in from this estate sale before I think about doing that, which should be coming in the next few days. I'm just kind of salivating from that. I think some of my stuff did get sold. Don't know what I got for it, but, we'll take the money and run. No need in crying over spilled milk. Um, yeah, I'm pleased with things the way are progressing. I would have liked the main campaign to be up by now, or at least the mail up, but uh, we'll work on it. Next few days, I'm going to be pressing in hard to get that done. That's not all I have to do, but yeah, main thing is to clean and get organized. You know, I mean, it just piles up after a while. I always take down more than I show. And that's why, you know, there toward the last before, this happened with my uncle, I was showing a lot of comics. And I was upfront with you on that, uh, to show you comics, less of a variety of things. I think I've shown in the last few days some of the stuff I've retrieved, some of my older stuff, some of my better stuff, some things, like these books we can deep dive in on later for sure. Um, I've got some things planned for the channel. I always try and make it the best show I can for you guys. Sometimes I have more prep time than others, and I frankly had the time because I'm not working. But now that will change. That doesn't mean, I pray the quality doesn't go down on the show by any means because I do like to show interesting stuff. We'll be showing a lot of comics, that's for sure. And I'll try and get some really good comics. But yeah, I mean, like I said yesterday, hope to have some of you on discuss. I really had a good time speaking with Andy last night on Vic's show. His little moniker, like mine's Devil Flyer, his is me. I had not met him before. He's got a nice collection of books. He was going through, had the camera where it's shooting down. That's what I need is the setup to where I can do that, at least with my phone and stuff. Hopefully that's coming. I can do that here. We can explore, deep dive on some things. But I mean, I know Civility was talking about some of that yesterday, but, and I know Andy Smith does that on his show. I've also got to look at the interest of that. Uh, but I do know, yeah, I'm flashing here and here and here, and you really don't get, you know, yeah, there is a deeper side to things. But we'll get there. We'll get there together, hopefully. Great thing is, I've got 151 subscribers so far in like 3 months' time. Uh, just hit 701 on Twitter. Went over 100 on Instagram a few days back. It works if you work it. And, I haven't been selling anything. I mean, trying to sell. I've made some photographs and some things of stuff that yeah, Andy on Vic's channel. No, no, no. Andy on his own channel. Um, Andy Smith on his own channel. He shows a lot of different books. He's got a nice thing too. But, yeah, Andy on Vic was on, I think it was on Vic's channel. But not Andy Smith. Andy, who goes by me, M-E. It's me, you know. That's his little thing. Like I'm called Devil Flyer and you're called Lorenzo Sleestack, or Civility's called Civility. But yeah, I'd never been on with him before, and he was showing some Frank Miller. Oh, just a plethora of different books, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, different things. And yeah, he's that tattoo artist. Yes. Yes, he is. Got tattoos on his hands, whatnot, arms. But she's longingly looking at me like she wants to go out here in a minute. Yeah, and we kind of had back and forth, and then Vic would chime in, that's the type of thing, you talk about these things, somebody shows it, and we kind of go through it and talk about different aspects of it. Just some of the things that I learned, just formal training and, to contrast and noir or whatever, juxtaposition, tangents. Oh, he is? He's in the Sleep Stacking Twitter group? Okay. I've not met him before. I've not even seen him as me anywhere. So it was nice to get on with him. I missed Yucky Gum. He was on there early on, and I was listening, but I was I think I rested or whatever. I kind of rest, meditate, think about things, shut my mind down, but I'm also kind of and then if a thought comes to me, if it's worth writing down or something, like right before I came on here, I was kind of doing that after going over and being just, hair pulled out, dealing with mother's situation. My brother's hopefully going to take care of that tomorrow. She's frustrated. I don't blame her. But I'm like, just calm down. It'll be okay. We'll get this all done, But like she mentioned the car, and I was like, let's get the house sold first. It doesn't have to be done like this. I told her when this first started, I said, I'll be glad when this month is over. I'll be back at work more than likely. I need to check my email now. And, that that won't affect this show, except maybe shorter, shorter shows. Apologize for that. Um, but life happens. And yeah, starting out, I don't think that my job will affect this show till the fall, to when it starts getting darker earlier and earlier and earlier. Because sometimes I do start at like 4 in the afternoon because it's already dark, or on the road to go somewhere. Um, I usually drive about not a mile, an hour away to win. And I think it's one of the best routes. I think it's probably the best route. And I've got it all memorized so I can do it frontwards, backwards. And I'm still thinking, okay, is there a better way that I can do this to save time, or to just a better way to do it? Uh, I can't frankly wait to get back to it. Last year was a breeze compared to 2020. 2020 was like, oh, because, and I probably should have set that one out and said, I can't work, because they were grabbing $600 from unemployment every day. And I was like working 2 weeks to make a little over that, that was a hard, and they were saying, okay, here's the city, go do it. Both sides. Well, that's, 8 or 9 hours. I'm like, and you do that about 3 times a week and you're working, I don't know if we worked Saturdays or not, if we had Saturdays, Sundays off. I know there's been one year that worked a couple of Sundays. It was like 3 weeks before we got a break, 3 weeks of spring before we got one day off a weekend. But yeah, anyway, can't wait to get back to it. Nighttime driving, but it'll be starting late. And, it won't get dark till already the days are getting longer. Back, a month or so ago, it would have already been dark by now. But anyway, I'm just blathering on. I like sharing my life with you and what's coming up. I'm always excited to do that job. That's why I've stuck with it for 10 years. This will be my 10th year with them. You have to re-up every year, reapply every year. They've already contacted me and asked me, and I said, yes, of course. I'm ready when you are. More than ready this year, because I want to get earning some money, even if it goes out just for artwork or coloring or whatever, to get this thing rolling. I'm going to throw the money at it that needs to be thrown at it, I think, in the instance, and I'll draw what I need to draw, whatever. But I'll probably, people are clamoring for work. I'll give them work. And frankly, I would like to see more CG artists come into this on the backup stories. Apex Comics is wanting to do Sea Demon. I might write something specifically for him to do. I don't know. There's certain things that has to get done and set up in this first one. So, I don't know. I may have Apex do it. I don't know. He's chomping at the bit to do it. But yeah, yeah. First campaigns. I'm really thinking down the road. Whatever the campaign does, I probably have Critical Blast if he'll take me on, to fulfill the thing. I could fulfill it no problem. But I think for this first campaign, I think I would probably just rather hand it off and say, here, you fulfill it, and just let me work on promoting it, on getting the art done, the stories written, which the half of it, a little over half, is already done in the main story, the Devil Flyer story. But then there's all that other that has to be there. 2 other hero stories. I've got 2 of the stories written. No, 3 of the stories written out of the 6. So I have 3 more stories to write. And that's probably incorrect because there's actually another one that I have. So I'll probably have 2 more stories to write. I have to write the Sea Demon story and maybe the Grave Tale story, but I've got to get everything. I may have them written, but that's it. I might have them a little thumbnailed out, but that's it. So there's a lot to do if I'm going to get this book out by October, into your hands in October, so I can sell it in early November at the For Fans Fest. That's been my arbitrary line. If they don't have that convention, Still, by that time, I'll know if I've succeeded or not. That's my cutoff. And if I deliver that fairly quickly, short campaign, um, you know, get it, just get it funded and get it out to people. I think they'll look at it and go, yeah, I'll give you another try. And then the next one, we'll see what it comes out. If it's going to be another Devil Flyer or if we're going to go right into like a Silver Boa, if I can get Vic, if I can get it written. And then I'd like that to be done sort of black and white and gray tone and see what he can do, kind of film noir-ish, because he's kind of a retro looking character. But I think he could stand up with the best of them, especially the way Vic draws him on the couple pieces I've seen him do. So, but yeah, I've got to get him to complete all that and scan that or whatever. Just get me the artwork so that I can get it scanned and made into stuff. So yeah, I'm excited about the way things are going, and the alternative books will be out, and I'll be able to see how the ads turned out. The one that I saw, real flat, real Wolf and Batsy on the inside back cover, which is basically this one, the watercolor from 1993. And this will be up for sale on the main campaign. Sadly, none of the story will be, but I'll have trading card artwork and other things that I'll do for the campaign. I really like the ideal of, and I may do it on this one, no promises, but I really like that Dan Pleagle did original drawings on the back of the ash cans. That was pretty neat that everybody kind of got original artwork on there. So, and I don't draw like Dan Pleagle and do just a line here, shape. So I don't know. Something I'm thinking about. Anyway, I want to make it a unique experience with whatever we do. So you were asking people what they felt of the Devil Flyer the other day? What they felt of the Devil Flyer the other day? Oh, that was the voting, I guess. Maybe the design. We came in second. We beat out two, and we lost to Rob, who put it together. But I think his own character lost out. They're still, last time I saw, they were on the 4 death match. We were the first death match. I was in the first one and got eliminated. But we came in a strong second. So I'm proud of that. I'm happy of that. I didn't even know that they were going to do that with my character. So, and they used a different color scheme than what he's going to look like in issue 1. They used the fiery persona of him that's going to be in issue 2. So, which is fine. I mean, people prefer that one. But, I wanted to start with the Spawn green first. Spawn type energy green, resurrection green. And then go on to the more, hellish look. And I've got other designs too. And I'm working that into the story because there's such nice costume designs and sets of powers. I thought, how can I work this in and still use these without going to a multiverse where you see a bunch of Devil Flyers? He's a real retro looking character with the art. Yeah, he is. I mean, that's the way John draws, and he's kind of an old DC guy. But people like some of that aspect, some don't. But I know that I created a villainous character that is more edgy, that is more up to now. And so I'm going to try and balance that out. Give you some retro stuff, but also, um, different periods. Because I know that a lot of readership like the edgy '90s type stuff, the action pack, and we'll see what we can do for them too. It's a real retro looking character. Let's see, market for everything. Yeah, I'm trying to market and have a little bit in there that for everyone. It is an anthology, by the way, but it all kind of has to be unified and homogenous, and flow good together. But yeah, and different art. I mean, I've been working on the origin of really my mascot for the company, which is a speedster called Zigzag. And I'll have Vic do the overhead logo, streaking logo to that, what I have in mind. And maybe the artwork that I have there, and the rest is going to be photoshopped in of different images through history. May use that for an alternate ad or sort of a promo thing. We'll see. That's going to be one of the next things that I have Vic draw. See how he does on that. Because I do think I need to develop him some and get that done. And it's going to perform two functions for me, sort of define the character and then also get a logo out of it, maybe. I don't know if he'll put it in, but if he can do the artwork, and I've been able to, I wanted kind of a brushstroke look, you know, and then put the Momentum logo behind him. Um, but I've been unable to get that brushstroke look. So, but maybe digitally, I don't know. We'll see. Just have to work through these things. So, I'll put forth my best effort uh, on all this. Uh, and part of that is just, you know, keeping the house in order. So I'm going to go do some cleaning. And I know I say that every day, but man, have I brought out a bunch in the last few months. And not all of it's gotten put up. Man, you can't hardly move around here. So once I put this stuff up and even get it organized, I'm gonna have to find a few things because I've got production artwork I haven't shown you that I know is missing that's around here somewhere. Um, Stuff that I thought was in the safe, like old books and stuff. I haven't seen those yet. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff I'm like going, think of every now and then and go, where would that be? Where is it? Well, till I kind of get it all cleaned up and get that new stuff moved in, get some old furniture out of here, got a new couch coming. If they didn't sell the couch, my name was supposed to be on it, but we'll see. I don't even know. Maybe if I didn't take the right key and couldn't get it in the house, so I've got to go and get the key and see what's in there, and get some paintings out of there. Um, if I buy a bundle of comics, can you give them to Tug for me to give out to the children? If I buy a bundle of comics, you mean my comic or what? Or if you buy just a bundle of comics and give them to Tug for me to give out to the children. To Tug, I guess I should ask if the comic is all ages friendly. That's a good question. I mean, yeah, I think it is. I mean, at first I had, that's a good question, because I'd like to go a little bit more. I mean, as it stood originally, I would say yes, it'd be all ages friendly. Um, Green Power Worldwide. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Support the Indiegogo project. Yeah. Well, here's the link for anybody that wants to do that or watches this on replay. Well, that's my Twitter. But yeah, I can get the Indiegogo project again, copy it, put it in here. Don't think I posted my YouTube channel, but yeah, be all right. Yeah, all ages friendly. I don't know about that. I don't know what it will wind up being. I mean, I almost feel like I have to go edgier with some of the stories. And they're not going to be over the top edge. They're not going to be like Brain Cage edge. Um, there's a place for that, but I'm just wanting to establish my comic book heroes, and they have different functions. I mean, do you have your Punisher type? Sure. Do you have your Hulk type? Sure. I mean, they're all kind of archetypes, right? Um, Teenage appropriate? Definitely teenage appropriate. They probably think it was mild, you know. I have supported you're talking Tug, who doing the littlest umbrella? Is that who you're calling Tug? I encourage everyone to back the ash can. I'm backer number one, I think. Yes, you are, Lorenzo. You're backer number one. We're our first backer. Um, I think we've got like 35. Let's look on here. Last I look, I haven't updated it, but 35 backers right now. And we're sitting at 126%. Have less than 3 days left on it. And then it will go in demand. But like I say, those alternative books are going to be coming out, and I'm going to be pulling it down here in a few weeks. Um, I'm so poor I can only do so much at once. Yeah, a little umbrella. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I understand that right now. I mean, I drew unemployment till that ran out, and I haven't had any work. So, but I've been, and then a lot of the stuff that I commissioned Vic and other people to do and paying for colorists come out of my tax refund. I got a handsome tax refund. I hope I get near that tomorrow, next year. I'll definitely, and I got it as quick as I could. Um, that very same day that I submitted it, basically the next day. So you can't complain about that. Got it in anyway and reviewed so that they got it to me as quickly as possible. But I put it all towards the campaign pretty much. Um, yeah, I mean, it'll be up for a little while for anybody wanting it. It will be extremely rare, probably less than 50 copies. Uh, uh, trading cards. I mean, if you want to say I've got the whole set, you're going to need those. Um, I stole that last joke. Well, I wouldn't admit to it. Yeah, I can't afford to pay attention. Ha ha ha. Yeah, well, I can't afford to pay attention either half the time. But yeah, uh, I know how money constraints are. I mean, I've been up front with that and said, hey, comics are a luxury. They're a luxury item. Let's face it. You don't need them to eat or wear or, shelter or gas in your car. I mean, they're a luxury item, but they're a fun luxury item and they're, a unique art form that goes way back, kind of like that Captain 3D there. Um, and I just think I can't live and breathe without them, at least some. And yeah, I've restricted that to CG projects now, and that's more than I can deal with. But yeah, I get a little bit money in, I'll back another campaign or two, always have something coming in the mail or looking forward to something. Some like, I backed way back. There's only been one. I've got to find my backer number. That's another thing. I got to find the backer number to prove that I bought a book because he didn't send me the book. He's talking about book 2, and I never got book 1. That was Death Shroud. So I just got to find him that number, and I think he'll make it good. Um, and I hope that I can still get a copy of the, cover that I wanted. Didn't back it heavily, but that was one I bought. Still waiting on Oddity. Oddity's been going for a long time. But, you know, it looks like I'm going to get burned on that hardback and all that was reprint stuff of Aztec Ace, the 15 issues that Eclipse did, I believe. Yeah, it was Eclipse of Aztec Ace. I even owned original piece of the artwork from issue 3, I think, at one time till it burned up. So I really like that and would like to add that to my collection. Sadly, Thunder Bunny didn't get funded. I didn't back it because I didn't have the money. Even if I did, it didn't look like it was going to get funded. And I'm unwilling to wait. If they want to go over on Kickstarter and start it up, and then I would do it there. I've never bought anything on Kickstarter, but for Thunder Bunny's complete thing, I would. He's a fun character. Even more so in the digital age. Owning a printed comic and storing and caring for it is costly luxury. Well, I mean, it depends on what you get. I mean, I appreciate everything, get just about everything, you know. And yeah, I mean, I've got over 250 boxes full, short boxes. They were long boxes, they'd be too heavy to move around and maneuver. Just a short box is heavy enough, especially at my age. Yeah, I thought of something and wrote it down too. Great T-shirt thing. Why are you calling me old? What was the punchline? I plan on living longer than you. Just like you were saying, civility, you never know. You never know how much time any of us have. The person saying, "You're old, Rex." Maybe it may die before you. I thought Uncle Tom was going to die. He was the younger, but the older wound up dying before, and he didn't have the health issues that Uncle Tom did, taking radiation and chemo or whatever. So I don't know. You tell me. Um, but just appreciate the time you have, make the most of it is all I can say. Have a good work ethic. Even when I say that, I'm like, wow, that's my dad. But yeah, you got to have a good work ethic. But, also smell the roses. I'm going to try and get into comics and foster that. I'm a little kid again. I'm exploring, I'm finding out new things on every page. You know, I'm finding out new things wow, artwork or story. And I know some of it's going to be meh, but, and I may have to go back and look at some back issues to get that, but it's out there. You find a good one, you know. I really like a comic that inspires me, and those are few and far between, but they're out there. And if I can recapture that and go, yeah, I'd like to do something like that in a comic. Well, now I've got that opportunity, and I need to not gravitate away from that because I'm quote too busy. I need to gravitate to that and get into comics even more and read more comics. Um, and then my comic, I feel, will be better because I will be in tune with my inner man, my little mantra, or whatever. You know, um, you're right. I could be gone tomorrow. Yeah, well, we'll see tomorrow. Maybe. Uh, you never know. Life is fleeting. So it's just, I do think that, everyone should be a good steward of what they possess, no matter how much or how little. All this could burn down tonight or get blown away. And then what have you got? Lost revenue. I could have put money in the bank and money could still be in the bank. They reset the money, it's going to be worth half the value. So I don't know. I mean, what do you really need except survival stuff? You know? So I would say focus on that and comics secondary. But, that's just practical thinking. Make sure yourself is taken care of. If you're taken care of, hey, you can afford a little bit of luxuries. And I like to every now and then, might not have much money, but I like to indulge. And it may be just a small indulgence. But in comics we're always so I'm letting, to produce my own comic and get it out to you and then have fulfillment of looking at my own comic. Um, I'm putting money into that could go into, frankly, buying other comics, other neat stuff. But I'm tired of other people stealing my ideals and things and using them first. And I want to get this stuff copyrighted and trademarked and whatever needs to be done and out there for everybody to enjoy, and get my universe of characters out there. And the market will determine whether it's interesting to people or not. It did start kind of as a passion project. I didn't know what form it would take. I was kind of resistant because I was like, well, I've been developing this other character since 2015, and he's not even going to be in the book. Or is he? I'm still wondering whether to kind of allude to him or not. He's the fourth big character that I would like to get out there for sure, but I don't know. But the marketplace will determine whether um, what you're putting out there is of quality or not. But I really think that you really do have to get it out there, show it and sell it. And because people don't know you, they don't know your track record, they don't know if you're going to deliver. And even if you do, if it's going to be a good project, if it's going to be something interesting. In the end, we all have to take chances with everything, you know? So, you know, I have faith that this community will come together and buy enough of that book to get it funded. And that's all I'm looking for. And if I'm out of money with pocket to get it to you, then I'll just be out of money with pocket to get it to you. Because one of those people I'm going to ship to is this guy. I want to see my stuff in print and then go on to the next thing. I want to introduce my whole host, my whole universe of characters. And hopefully the marketplace will determine whether they're worthy enough or not. But I know that, have to get it out there and convince people, give it a try, give it a shot. If you can do that, I think I got them hooked because I think it's going to be as good as anything else, maybe even better than some of the stuff that's coming out now. So do the best job I can. Uh, Already happened once. Wow. Did you die on the table or sometime? Something? Sometime moments to take a stand are fleeting. Sometime moments to take a stand are fleeting. Yeah. Well, on that, I guess we'll get to it. And till tomorrow, keep collecting as always. Bye.